Welcome back with another banger. It's the React Files. Hope you're having a good night. Let's get straight to it.
You pretend you have the moral high ground, but you put that man's finger on the meat of your butt. That man doesn't believe in climate change.
This woman is not happy she's sitting next to a Trump supporter. Watch how her failure to settle down leaves her regretting her choices.
She has called me names and insulted me just for sitting down in the seat, saying that I came here to celebrate today.
Is there going to be a problem?
There will be. I would like for him to change seats with someone.
No, I'm going to get somebody. Well, you don't have that right. So I will get somebody to come and talk.
You pretend you have the moral high ground, but you put that man's finger on the meat of your butt. That man doesn't believe in climate change. Do you believe in gravity? Did you know gravity is just a theory?
Excuse me, man. Can you grab your belongings when you come through?
Right.
Okay. I'm gonna have to take you off this plane.
I beg
I'm gonna have to take you off this plane right there. Can you grab your belongings and come with me, please? Please. Can you grab your belongings and come with me?
I paid for this seat and I'm sitting.
Despite her disruptive nature, she believes she's done no wrong and refuses to leave.
He is in my space.
Oh, she's causing hostilities.
We need to do one of two ways right now. I need you to grab your belongings and come with me. Or that's where the plane. We know the transportation police.
I'm going home now. My mother-in-law, his mother, died. He had to be. I'm going home. There is no way I'm getting off
Not
this plane.
have issues on this plane, and you are causing a lot of issues right now, unfortunately.
Fine, I'll be quiet. I'll just check.
You're not going to be allowed to do this. I'm not going to allow that either, unfortunately.
I've talked to Kathy.
Captain wants to go. Okay. So at this point, Captain wants you off as well. I'm going to have to actually grab your belongings and come.
My husband lost his mother. Have some respect.
And I'm terribly sorry for that, but that does not give you the right to treat people the way you treat them.
What if we trade seats and she quiets down? How would that be?
Apparently at this point, the captain has already taken call. It's no longer...
Here.
Captain doesn't know his job when y'all say.
Let's try that.
Please ask him again if we settle down, if that can be okay.
Even after the husband's offer to trade seats, it's a little too late for this couple, and the two were swiftly escorted off the plane.
Excuse me, man. Can you grab your belongings when you come through?
Right.
Okay. I'm going to have to take you off this plane.
Wow, never would I thought I would see something like this. This is crazy. I feel it's the husband's fault. He stayed quiet that whole time. He could have been politely told his wife not to speak to that man that she doesn't know, or offered to sit in the middle. By the time he offered, it was too late. This one's crazy.
We're about to get into this. I felt like I woke up in the twilight zone today. First, we have a warning coming out from the FBI saying they are aware of the text messages that people are sending. I actually think that part's more disturbing about what they're saying, but they're talking about the hateful messages being sent from one person to another. So it sounds like many people are going to be arrested. And don't forget, as mansions burn down in California right now, the Epstein files will be released, the JFK files, and also the 9/11 files. And this is alleged, but it seems as if the Obamas are getting on a private plane to leave the country. We've also been seeing a ton of people step down randomly the last couple days, including ex-presidential nonprofits. Wow, this just happened. 3 people have been arrested for connections with Liam Payne's death. And a little bit more news on the monkeys that are at loose here in South Carolina. They have not been tested because they're too young. So who knows what that means for us? And Tucker Carlson's making predictions that many are going to find themselves in jail and in prison very soon. Not only are all world conflicts seemingly coming to an end or searching for means of peace, but Bitcoin may hit 100,000, says CNBC. This guy's not even in office yet. And the craziest part of all is the Congress is saying on November 13th they will declassify and tell the whole truth about aliens. Come on, there's a reason for Space Force. As well as Elon's involvement. The next year is going to be the year of revelation and disclosure, and just wait till you hear what I tell you later.
Wow. Shout outs to Inspired by the King. What is going on in the world right now? This is insane. They're able to read your text messages. They're looking at everything that's going on. But these monkeys, man, 40 monkeys is a lot. Now, how are they able to escape?
God knows where they went, right?
The 43 rhesus macaques made a break for it on Wednesday, escaping from the Alpha Genesis Primate Research Center in Yemassee, South Carolina.
The caretaker was doing her normal routine. She failed to secure the doors, and the monkeys basically just bolted through the opening. They're very social monkeys, and they travel in groups. So when the first couple go out the door, the others tend to just follow right along.
So the reason why they got out was literally monkey see, monkey do.
Absolutely.
President and CEO Greg Westergaard says the monkeys, which are used for vaccine development, are hanging out in the woods near the facility. A bystander says he saw the escape, although the video he recorded could not be verified by CBS News.
I think they're having an adventure.
The fugitive primates are described as cat-sized adolescent females.
You want it?
I met a similar species on assignment in Sri Lanka. In a statement to CBS News, the CDC said the monkeys pose no threat to public health as long as people do not come in contact with them.
Hoping for a happy ending. That's the number one important thing to me.
Dave Malkoff, CBS News, Atlanta.
Shout out to Dave Malka and CBS News. This is literally bananas. I feel like we've seen this in a movie before. It's called 28 Days Later. I think no risk to health unless in contact says it all.
I did not have this on my 2024 bingo card. Don't mind me just walking the dog. There's 40 to 46 research primates, monkeys, loose around Yemassee, South Carolina. They're loose from a company called Alpha Genesis that does primate research. I went to their website. It says they do non-pathogenic research and they have a facility that meets CDC requirements. However, they're still looking for these monkeys, and they suggest locking your windows and doors and calling the police if you see one. This also happened in 2019. Monkeys got loose from there. But what people aren't talking about, and I think most people don't know, is off the coast of South Carolina is a place called Morgan Island, and it's home to 4,000 rhesus monkeys. Nobody's allowed to go there. It exists because in the 70s, India quit exporting primates for research, so America had to create their own place. And I think they abandoned it, and it got overrun. It started with like 1,200 monkeys, and now the population is wild. Anyway, monkeys in South Carolina. Somebody's gonna hit bingo pretty soon.
Yo, Morgan Island? I never heard of this. This is starting to sound like Planet of the Apes. Shout outs to the Appalachian Sun, giving us that good information right there.
This is the terrifying moment a bear turns to attack a ranger immediately after release.
Jesus Christ!
After being rescued and treated by Ertsadzor Wildlife Rescue Center following a vehicle collision, 2-year-old bear Ricky was finally released back into the wild. But things didn't go exactly as planned.
Jesus Christ!
The bear was simply frightened. Luckily, no one was hurt.
Jesus Christ!
Dude almost lost his life because the driver almost did him dirty. Sheesh.
There's pyramids everywhere, right? Not just Egypt. All over the world. Everywhere, all over the world, no matter where you go. Why? Because a master architect laid down the blueprint, and we find this in the Emerald Tablets, where Thoth tells his crew that once we finish rebuilding the land of Kim, I want you to spread out and duplicate what we did here. So that's the foundation tablet that tells you, hey, spread out and go out and duplicate what happened here. So this is why you see the same structures all over the world.
Are there any in the U.S., you guys think?
Oh, yeah, there's some structures in the U.S. In Michigan, where you're from.
Really? In Michigan?
Yeah, there's a hinge.
Stonehenge, right?
There's a Stonehenge underneath the
Lake Michigan.
Lake Michigan. Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, and guess what's carved into the stone? The pillars, like mastodons and animals and stuff. So this is really ancient. It's like the Michigan Henge.
The Michigan Henge. You learn something new every day. Shout outs to Billy Carson. That's crazy. There's been so many civilizations before. It's mind-blowing.
Fallen angels still tricking people, I see. Well, first of all, they tricked you into thinking that they're angels. because that's not what they are. Quick history lesson. The word angels, or the term fallen angels, the watchers, all came with a religious context behind it. The Sumerians, the Anunnaki, the extraterrestrial gods that aren't really gods, they're just from another planet, they're more evolved, thousands and thousands of years more evolved than us. That when they came to Earth to look for their goal, that they needed to fix their atmosphere, they decided that the work was too hard, so what should we do? Since they're geniuses and such avant-garde, they decided to mix their DNA with that of a bipedal hominid on this planet to create a worker race, a slave race for them, and that is what they did. And the term Anunnaki means those who from the heavens came to Earth. It's a blanket term, it just means extraterrestrials. Then, thousands and thousands of years later, when religions came into place, the Hebrew religion and everything else after that, that's when they decided to demonize everybody, give them other names. Angel is not even the correct term for them. So you have been tricked into thinking that they are angels or fallen angels and watchers. But the original stories tell you the truth. So the only people here that have been tricked are the people that have been tricked by their own religions. Because the Sumerian scriptures come thousands of years, they predate all of your stuff. So the term angels and fallen angels isn't even correct. Now ask yourself, why did your religion trick you? That is the better question to ask.
Heartbroken friend has issued a statement as Argentinian police arrest 3 over his death. Rogelio Nores has denied abandoning the former One Direction star, saying he was with pain 40 minutes before his passing. One of the people arrested is said to be a friend, charged with abandoning a person followed by death, as well as being complicit in the supply of drugs. But Nores denies that this is him. Nores added that he went to his hotel 3 times that day, and could have never imagined something like this would happen. According to ABC News, 2 hotel workers are also among the 3 now being formally investigated by authorities in connection with Liam's death.
Yo, why is all of Hollywood and all the celebrities scared to talk about Diddy? Remember when I told you guys he was a gatekeeper? Not only did we see all these people aligning, trying to change popular opinion, who all happen to be on the Diddy guest list, but we have this guy following all these celebrities around, recording them, asking them about Diddy, and look how scared they get. I mean, this is literally absurd, y'all.
Hey, man. How's everything going?
Everything good, man.
Hey, is Hollywood going to survive this Diddy thing? Like, we're worried.
What did P. Diddy do to all these people? And does that have anything to do with all the tapes they found? And the timing of P. Diddy's arrest and raid was nothing short of perfect, coincidentally, but I was very happy to see that these celebrities don't really have the public pull they used to. People are finally starting to wake up to the realization that they're in a club, you're not, and they don't like you. And it shows by the mental illness they infuse in society through their music.
I'm doing great, but I'm a little worried about the music industry with this Diddy thing. Do you think...
Shout outs to Joy of Everything. And shout outs to Inspired by the King. The lawyers in Hollywood are definitely working overtime. Even though they're not saying nothing, their silence is very loud.
Marina Abramović. She's a famous artist, known for something called spirit cooking. Everything about her is so extreme that I literally don't know what I have to cover first. She's friends with very important people all around the world. This is the Queen of Norway. Something that I find super interesting is her brooch. She has a pin that doesn't really match the rest of her outfit. Yeah, that looks like a slice of pizza. What? Why would she wear a jeweled pizza brooch? That's so odd, right? Marina Abramović is now 77 years old. Serbian performance and conceptual artist who has been a pioneer in the field since the 1970s. Her work explores the relationship between the performer and the audience, the limits of the human body, and the possibilities of the mind. Abramović's work is characterized by endurance and pain, and by repetitive behavior, actions of long duration, and intense public interaction and energy dialogue. You wanted to know who the ringleader was? Oh, you got it. This is some of her work in the Museum of Barcelona. So what is spirit cooking? What is all of this extreme art? I don't have enough of me to cover everything. This is what introduced me to Marina Abramović. This live art interaction right here. A rave ball. A lot like what I've told you about the Rothschild Surrealist balls and how they have traditions of the hunt of the stag and everything. This is art trying to represent that. This model right here, do you see him? He looks terrified. And the fact that he's painted all in white just disturbs me. Yet, look at her face. She looks like she's ready to go. What? Then down here, they are eating what looks like to be an edible person in a tub of edible bodily fluids. She is what I would consider one of the most famous artists of our times, and she's the artist for the elite. These are all of her spirit cooking live art performances. He did these dinners for Met Gala after parties, the Grammy Awards, so many public events with elite performers. My thing is this, knowing what she uses in her spirit cooking, how could you possibly eat that stuff? Initially, the art was justified, saying that as humans, we eat so many things that have so many bad things in them for us. And so she was showing us this through her art. Yet, for me, as an artist, I see something totally different. Always surrounded by famous people, always. There is even the Marina Abramović Institute. It was one of her art performance pieces where they have a whole bunch of nails and she was supposed to lie in them. Another thing about her, she has this thing that she loves to put her body in extreme situations and yeah, like I'm getting like Tiamat Reptilian Queen vibes here. 77 years old. What can you say? This is her art that she has performed all around the world. Performance art inside of a pentagram. A burning pentagram. Oh, who's that? Bella Hadid, Naomi Campbell, you name it. Her BFF is Lady Gaga, and now you start to understand why Lady Gaga had all of those clothings made with meat and stuff. It's all part of this. No words necessary. Okay? And after seeing this, Marina with Jacob Rothschild, and behind here we have the painting of Lucifer himself, which I had to cover. Now ask yourselves, what do the Rothschilds have to do with a Serbian witch? I don't mean that in a derogatory way at all. She is very open about her Eastern witchcraft, which some call Eastern voodoo, and it has to do all with bodily fluids again. She's also connected to Aleister Crowley. Disgust, horror, fascination. These are just some of the emotions you experience while watching and living through her art. We've recently seen him in the news. Just saying. You get it now? That's Beyonce right there. Marina, one of her spirit cooking events. This is live art. My question is, knowing her ingredients and what spirit cooking is, how can anyone eat what it's just... They are aware, and they ate it anyway. Harmonizing social structure with the goat feet, and just, that's her in one of her performances, spirit cooking. Zelensky wants to make her ambassador of Ukraine. Jay-Z is into all of her art. What the was this all about? He's with her everywhere. Spirit cooking.
That was intense. Shout outs to Christina Bruno 1111. I agree. After knowing all of that, how could you eat that stuff?
The relationship and the camaraderie between the Jigga Man and the Diddler. Okay? These are two people that have been working in concert, collaborating and competing. These are people that have been covering each other's secrets for decades. That's why I say, to sit there and to just make Diddy the acceptable monster and not address his greatest collaborator in all of his business dealings it's a miscarriage of justice. Because what you're doing is you're leaving the other half of this two-headed monster out on the street to still be able to do what they do. While this one looks like he's down. This is a man who pow-powed his own brother and somehow walked away from that instance, got involved in the street drug trade, and somehow everyone else went to jail except for him. He's been making deals with the government and with the feds for quite some time. If none of this is real, how does the CEO of his record conglomerate Rock Nation, how is she a known federal informant whose background is transferring on multiple levels? Desiree Perez is one of the most despicable human beings to ever walk the face of this earth. And I'm not saying allegedly. I know that about you, man. I know about all your business dealings in Laredo. I know about all your business dealings in Guadalajara. And I know about who you know in Sinaloa. Why is a woman who's had this much engagement with the Mexican cartels running a rap conglomerate? That makes no sense. And she is a chartered government informant. What it sounds like to me is that the government found a very, very, very successful way to control and manipulate hip-hop by allowing their top agents to run everything and keep the independent jail system going, because a lot of these rappers are also heavily invested in the jails that most of these rappers go to. It's a bigger business.
You have to show damages to really win defamation as well.
Absolutely.
Is that just part of the legal plan?
They're not going to do that against me. Because if they do that, then they have to explain how I know what I know. See, the truth is I've had them at check for 2 years. Checkmate is coming. I promise you.
And that's a wrap. Hope you enjoyed tonight's rabbit hole. If you haven't already, please take a second
just to smash that like, subscribe, ring that notification bell,
just to make sure the algorithm knows what's up. So what we gonna do, y'all? That's right, run these numbers up. Thanks again. Till next time.